A grammar lesson in sexual violence. Punctuation mark, a noun. Definition, a mark such as a full stop, comma, or question mark used in writing to separate sentences from their elements and to clarify meaning. An apostrophe is also a punctuation mark, and it only takes an apostrophe and some distance to separate manslaughter from men's laughter. It doesn't take much more than an apostrophe for women to become the punchline to a joke that isn't funny, a punctuation mark to separate women from their humanity and turn them into objects for the male gaze. Because let's face it, the most dangerous place in the world for women to be is their own house. You see, domestic violence is the most common killer of women in the world. Last year alone, 87,000 women were murdered, of which 50,000 were killed by partners or family members, which means that globally, every 10 minutes, a woman is killed by someone she knows, which is to say that by the end of this poem, somewhere in the world, in her own home, a woman will be scared to death. So don't tell me that grammar doesn't matter when for the better part of our history, we have written women out of our histories. Don't tell me it's just an innocent mistake when language shapes our reality and our male reality. We use punctuation marks to claim our misplaced innocence. Example, what was she wearing? Question mark. She should not have left her drink unguarded, full stop. But not all men, exclamation point. It was, start quotation marks, just a joke, end quotation marks. She never said stop, open parentheses, because she feared for her own life, close parentheses, and he took it as consent. 87,000 women were murdered, open brackets, at the hands of men, close brackets. 1 minute and 59 seconds into this poem, and somewhere in the world, a woman is feeling very, very uncomfortable right now. Polysemy, a noun. Definition, the coexistence of multiple meanings for a word or phrase. Like the word rose can mean both a flower as well as the past tense of to rise. Or how, but not all men can mean there are many good men out there who believe in gender equality, though what it really means is there may be many good men out there who believe in gender equality, but I am not one of them. Or how it was just a joke can mean what I said was not meant to carry any weight or gravity and intended to create a lighthearted atmosphere, though what it really means is my feelings of comfort are more important than your feelings of discomfort and infinitely more important than dismantling the patriarchy that my joke represents. Or how, what was she wearing? Can mean, I have a genuine interest and curiosity in the fashion choices of said woman, though what it really means is, I prefer to keep alive centuries of sexual violence against women by blaming the victim and refusing to hold the perpetrator accountable. 3 minutes and 18 seconds into this poem, and somewhere in the world, a woman is fighting for her life right now. Active voice, a noun. Definition, a form of a verb in which the subject typically is the person performing the action. Example, she loved him as opposed to he was loved. Or he became president despite his overt racism, sexism, misogyny, and white supremacy. Or he enjoyed a lenient sentence so his future would not be affected while the victim's future was conveniently ignored. Or he accepted the Supreme Court judge nomination despite his morally despicable history. Isn't it interesting how the active voice is used to claim what the patriarchy is not entitled to? Hold on. That doesn't sound quite right. Let me correct that. Isn't it funny how we men use the active voice to assert our male dominance and claim what is not ours, but it's the moment we are held accountable for our behaviors, we use the passive voice to escape our responsibility. Example, she was raped instead of he raped her. Or the drink was spiked instead of he spiked the drink. Or she was drunk instead of he took advantage of her. Or last year, 87,000 women were murdered instead of last year, 87,000 men murdered 87,000 women. 4 minutes and 54 seconds into this poem, and somewhere in the world, a man is about to ellipses, dots, dots, dots. Because we all know how this story will end, exclamation point. Ooh.